Let's go, Sonia. Darlene, let's go. Let's go. 2026. Make it our best year. It's our time.
Hello.
Sonia.
Hello.
Darlene. Here we go. We're good. We got more coming on. So nice to see you. Yep. So those are just hopping on. We're going to go through a webinar tonight. That'll be all about consistency and why that's important. And reasons why we fall off and how to get back on for good. Because we know that repetition really makes the change, right? There'll be questions that you'll have likely. So if you can pop them in the chat or save them to the end, because we are going to answer all your questions. We're staying here until they're all answered. And then we're going to offer you a challenge tonight, actually. So I want you to just pay attention to the fact that you don't have to do this all alone. We can do it all together. Build momentum and structure and make 2026 the year that we transformed to our next level. And again, they don't need to do it alone. So we're going to be offering you a 5-day menopause challenge, which will be starting next week. So if this feels right for you, then please pay attention. And it's going to be a lot of freaking fun. We always make things fun, don't we, Reese? Yeah, very educational, very fun. Yes, Sonia, do it.
Excuse me, I didn't get the two webinar.
Oh, you didn't get the replays?
Previous ones?
No, I didn't get it. No.
Okay.
We'll make sure you do.
My email.
Yeah.
I just got the link for this
Yeah.
webinar tonight. Yeah, I didn't have the other one, the two others one.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, we need to get that to you.
Thanks for letting us know, Sonia. We'll get that to you.
We'll do a bit of a summary even before that we start today's.
But you'll want to watch them. Yeah, they're quite more,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, more detailed. So we've got Tristan on the chat. He's going to be listening to that. He'll send it off to you. So got a moderator here that's listening. Okay. So we'll just wait a couple more minutes before we get started on our webinar. And I'm just going to ask those that are here in the chat if you can hear and see me okay in the chat. Let me know. Can you hear and see me okay?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, good. And then Sonia, where are you calling from? What part of the world?
I'm from Canada, Quebec City, and I'm French, so sometimes I can misunderstand some part.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
No problem.
No worries. Okay. So I think we'll wait one more minute and then we're going to get started with this. Yeah, good thing about this is there'll be a replay for the ones that are watching the replay. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's just go. Hey, let's just go. Okay. So what we're going to do is tonight. Ooh, yes, let's go. This is part 3 of a 3-part series. And tonight we're going to be talking all about, just going to put this up here, why consistency feels impossible. Like, why do you go on and off and on and off? And the missing piece no one talks about. Now, this is the 3rd part of a 3-part series of why diets for women over 40 actually don't work, because we need to understand the hormonal game. And a lot of women don't understand that. So it's not in your head, it's actually hormones. And so if you're looking to shift your body into burning fat, building muscle, supporting your brain cognition, maybe even healing conditions without any of these diets and extremes, without injections or these medications, and actually doing it the hormone smart way for a sustainable approach, that's what this is all about. So I think what I'll do is I'll start with a tiny bit of a summary from what we've talked about. Part 1, we talked about why diets stop working after 40 and what to do instead. And this is for women that are over 40 that are tired of trying all these different diets, and their weight isn't budging. Maybe it does 3 or 5 pounds, but then they gain it back up again. And maybe you're exhausted, your sleep's a mess, and you're wondering, is this the way it is when we're over 40? Absolutely not. It is. It's not. We can actually be the smartest, the healthiest, the strongest. This is the time of wisdom. We lived all these years. Okay. We just need to get the strong body, right? And so we talked a lot about hormones and how they do shift things as you get older. And those that are watching here, because you're on the call, we're going to offer you a gift. And that is a $100 gift certificate towards any of our Fit and Healthy Forever programs. So please remember that if we're hopping on a call and we're looking at a program, please take advantage of this $100 gift certificate, okay? A little bit about us, if you're not sure if this is the first time you've actually seen us speak. I've been in the space for almost 25 years. And I started because I wanted to recover my own health. And I had an eating disorder. I was starving myself to lose weight because I wanted to look good. But then I ended up losing my bone mass and ended up with a severe condition of osteoporosis. The answer from the doctors was medication. That didn't make sense to me. I knew it was that I was starving. So I had to figure out, how can I eat foods I like? My gosh, to be at fit and healthy and look great. And so after following what didn't work, which was what was advertised on media, we didn't have Google then. We just had magazines, we had books, we had TV. And I was following the advice that was given on TV and magazines, and I got worse. So I'm like, well, that's scary because I was actually at my bottom. I thought, okay, well, man, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. There's something there. There's something there. And then it all turned around when I learned about what our body actually needs. When you learn when we learn about human bodies, when we learn about like physiology, biology, not marketing, our actual bodies, I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. Why are they promoting these things when it's actually counter? It's we should be doing the opposite. I thought, well, that's weird. So then what I did was I ended up recovering my health by doing it the healthy way. Okay. And so I was able to reverse my own eating disorder, which was the hardest part, but also osteoporosis. My bones are the strongest they've ever been. Okay. So because I was able to do that, I thought, well, there'll be other women that are struggling as well because they're getting just the wrong information. We need to give them the right information. And so before I went out in public, I actually got highly educated. So I got my degree in nutrition, intercellular detox, chartered herbalist, personal training, quantum physics. So I just kept going on and on and on, learning as much as I could about how to recover our health for women. All right. And so because of that, I was able to recover myself. Now, after 25 years of helping thousands of women, I can help them now too. All right. So that's a little bit about me. How about you, Reese?
I've been in the space for almost 45 years, actually, helping women regain their health, actually helping men and women regain their health, either with exercise programs, supplements, or any aspect of really natural health and wellness.
Great. Yes. And we happen to be married. I married a smart guy.
And Michelle said that she was on fire tonight, so I brought the fire extinguisher.
I'm on fire. Yeah. Let's go, ladies. You feel the vibe. Woo-hoo. So just so you know, I'm 58 and Reese is 72. We are on no medications at all. Everything is natural. And this is how we want to kind of move ahead in life because we have hopefully some grandchildren on the way later down the road and we have our big whys. So it also feels freaking good to be in good shape and to have all this energy. Health is wealth. Honestly, if you don't have your health, like, what do you have? You have a bank account. So what? If you're sick, what's that going to do? No. We want to enjoy our life together. And you're probably in the same situation too, right? Which is why you're on the call. And, we've helped thousands of women, absolutely. And we have a success channel that actually showcases all of our clients' wins. So it's not us saying it, it's all of our clients saying it, all right? So, which is really, really empowering for us. Super, super fun. So yeah, we went through all that in the first webinar. Then what we did is we went into the second webinar, which was how how to take back control of your weight, sleep, and mood, featuring our ICE model. What's the ICE model? You may be thinking, what even is that? Those are three very important hormones that actually are heavy hitters when it comes to getting to your best weight, having the best sleep, and improving your mood. Three very important hormones. Hormones are cellular messengers. They get messages, and they are strong messages. And those are the three biggest ones when it comes to those areas. And so what we did is we just went through, what were they? What is the ICE model? Just know insulin. You're a woman over 40, you make sure that that's balanced, boy, because that's the heaviest hitter when it comes to gaining fat It's a fat storage hormone. It will put in nutrients. It's also going to put in extra fat. Okay. And so we want to make sure it's balanced. So when it's balanced, you're putting in amino acids into the muscles to build muscle. You're putting in nutrients into the body to have healthy body systems, thyroid, cardiovascular, immune system, digestive. It needs nutrients. If you don't have nutrients, your body has to find other ways to have a good system. And it's not as good as if you had actually the nutrients, all right? So insulin is a storage hormone. So when you are looking to get into the best shape, make sure insulin is low, okay? But it's balanced. It's not up and down and up and down. It's low, all right? Comes up to store and then comes back down again, not elevated all the time. Then we have cortisol. Cortisol is our fight or flight hormone, right? It keeps us safe. It gives us energy, but at the same time, if it's elevated for too long, then actually it leads to weight gain. Why? Because you are moving into an insulin issue. It works with insulin, it dysregulates insulin. So now you're insulin resistant instead of insulin sensitive. Now the cells go, yeah. I know you're trying to put the blood glucose into me, but I'm going to resist you. Then you have high blood glucose, and all you're doing is you're leading to more fat storage. And not only that, the storage of the fat, the cortisol tells the body where to store the fat. Okay. It's called cortisol belly for a reason. It's right in the midsection. That's where the stress, if you yourself or you see others that have the big belly in the front, they're not regulating their stress very well, all right? And their insulin is dysregulated. So that's why they have the big belly, all right? The big tummy, yeah. And then estrogen. Estrogen is the one hormone that when you're in premenopause, you've got it in your favor. Okay, so you've got enough estrogen. And what estrogen does, you got to pay attention. If you're in perimenopause, then you are lucky because menopause and postmenopause, we don't have that amount of estrogen, right? You have enough. So you're a superstar. Estrogen, what does it do? It actually naturally will help to balance the blood sugar. It will naturally keep the inflammation down just because you have enough estrogen. Every single receptor site in your body has estrogen receptors. Why? Because every cell needs estrogen, right? And so what happens then is if we don't understand that when we're in perimenopause, the estrogen goes up and down and up and down, so does your mood, so does your weight. And then in perimenopause, it tanks. Yeah, now you really have to dial in the blood sugar and the inflammation. You don't have estrogen in your favor. So know that it's a hormonal thing. It's a heavy hitter, right? Yes, there's ways to increase estrogen. There are, which we went through, right? But also just know that you do need to dial in more of your blood sugar and your inflammation. It's not a joke. It's a real thing. Okay. So those menopausal women and postmenopausal, please listen. That's how the game changes. All right. The hormones. But guess what? When you know that, then you know that you need to balance the blood sugar. You know you need to keep the inflammation down. Everything you do must be all about that. And then what happens is you can be fit and healthy forever because you're always keeping your blood sugar balance and inflammation down. All right. 3 heavy hitters. Know that they're very, very important. Okay. Got it? Yes. Remember, everyone that's here can ask questions in the chat. I'm going to answer them with Reese at the very end.
Yep.
But we're going to go rapid fire. Okay. We're going to just go to town here. So we went through all that, and during our last webinar, we went, how are we going to balance cortisol? How are we going to balance insulin? How are we going to balance estrogen? We went through that last webinar. So if you don't have the replay, make sure that you get it because we give you the tools for that. Okay. But just know that that's really important when you're at our age. All right. Yeah, we went through all the steps. Okay. So it's all there.
Yeah.
Right. And even some nuances, just so you know, my goodness, we can even, here's the thing. I always think, what's the low hanging fruit to get our results? Well, we're going to eat anyway. Why don't we eat in a way to balance our hormones? Well, one of the most important foods to eat to balance all of your hormones, and what I even learned today is increased testosterone, believe it or not. Okay, it's the brassica family of foods. These beautiful, gorgeous foods right here. They have indole 3 carbinol. They help to balance estrogen. They help to detoxify with phase 2 detox, the liver to balance estrogen. When you have a healthy liver, you have healthy blood sugar control, you prevent cancer. Boy, oh boy, if you can just get more of these when it comes to when you're putting the vegetables into your diet, get more of the brassica family of foods. And what I learned today, again, I'm a like I research, I'm like 1 or 2 hours a day learning more about how are we going to optimize our diet to be able to burn fat, build muscle, look and feel 10 years younger. What I learned today was after working out, after training, resistance training, which is mandatory, it's non-negotiable. What you're going to want to do with that first meal after training is you want to add in cabbage or any kind of brassica family of foods. Why? Because they're going to make sure that they're going to remove any extra like bad estrogen. There's 3 types of estrogens. Remove that so we can make room for more testosterone. Okay. So food is medicine. When you understand that, you can eat your way to get your results instead of taking all these, I don't know, injections or these exogenous things. We can just use food as medicine. Okay. So that's just one idea there. And then you can do what a lot of our clients do, which is they go from overweight to getting lean and fit, even when they're 50, all right, when you do the right things. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get into today's topic, okay? And so today we're going to talk all about why consistency feels impossible and the missing piece no one talks about, right? And so by the end of today, you're going to learn these 5 things. What is it? Consistency problems. Why we have problems when we're over 40 with consistency? Like, what's going on there? Why these hormones drive your behavior. This would be an aha moment tonight, believe me. Okay. How the nervous system overrides discipline. I want to do it, but why aren't I doing it? And what makes change stick? And then the next steps. Okay. And just so you know, we are going to offer you if this feels right for you and you want to, move ahead with your health goals for 2026. I know a lot of women right now are like, this is my year. It's Michelle 10.0, or it's Sonia, or it's Vula, or it's Angela. It's my year this year. Well, here's the thing. If it's your year, imagine trying to do it by yourself. Trying to change all these habits, trying to figure out the strategy on your own, trying to Google your way. Pretty tough, right? You've probably been trying for 1, 2, 5, 10, maybe even 20, maybe your whole life. And you're like, what is the real answer here? ChatGPT isn't really giving me all the answers. What's the real answer? Well, it's actually working with others and not doing it by yourself. Because when you're with others, first of all, the vibe is really high. You feel accountable to other people. It's way more fun and you're more apt to stay consistent because you're with other like-minded women. Okay. So you're not supposed to do this by yourself, by the way. That's the hard way. We're doing this the smart way. So find a group that are all doing it together. You will get way more faster results and have fun doing it than doing it by yourself. So we're going to offer you a challenge, okay, that's coming up next week. It's the Meno 5-day challenge, which we're going to put everything together into 5 days. You follow 1 day at a time. Just a quick little training that we're going to do.
Yep.
And then some handouts. So you actually have a copy of what the action step is. You follow it, then we go to the next day. What we're doing is we're building momentum. Okay. When you build momentum, you're likely to get results and you can make these habits stick. So there is a link, I believe, in the chat right now to the 5-day Meno challenge, right? It's only like $27. It's super inexpensive. But the reason why we asked for the amount is because you're putting a bit of your skin in the game, right? If you do, you're more apt to follow it and do it. It's really mostly about you, all right? And so it's all going to be recorded, right? Every day is going to be recorded with the handouts. If you can't make the day, at least you get the whole recording. You get all the handouts and you're part of this group that's all doing it together, okay? Yep. So I thought I'd let you know that as well. Now, let's get into this consistency piece. Here's the thing. You're not broken, right? It's not a discipline problem. It's not even a motivation problem. How many times have you heard that? I'm just not motivated. It's not even that. It's not even a willpower problem. Guess what? It's a system problem. It's the system that you need to get right, okay? And if you're like other women, they mostly report, yeah, you're right. Because I start and I stop. Like, I don't know if that sounds like you, but we hear this so many times. Like, I went on a roll and then I fell off. I went on a roll and I fell off. And then you have these short bursts of success, but then you lose momentum. And then the worst thing is it's difficult to get back on again. It's like, oh, here we go, Groundhog Day. And then what happens is at the end of it, you feel defeated. Why even start? Well, the symptoms and signs get so strong, you go, oh my God, I have to do something. And it just keeps going, going, and going. It's like so mentally draining. I'm very, very sure you feel that way. But again, what we're looking for is to balance these hormones. Okay, hormones are heavy hitters. And so just so you know, you think it's discipline. No, it's actually your hormones. So what are the three hormones that are dictating this? The first one is insulin. What happens is if we have insulin up and down, remember, what is even insulin? You may be wondering, what is insulin? Insulin is a hormone that gets released from your pancreas, the beta cells, anytime you eat something. Because it has to, when you eat something, the body has to gets triggered to do something, right? You're eating to get energy, you're eating for nutrition, you're eating for energy, right? And so insulin is the one hormone that comes up from the pancreas, the beta cells, and goes, oh, there's food coming in, we need to store it. You're not burning it, you're storing it, right? And so what happens is if we eat the wrong foods and too many times a day, you have all these swings. And then over time, you're actually activating a part of the brain called the amygdala, right? That's your reward system. That's the dopamine hit. Every time you eat, you get a dopamine hit. But if you eat the wrong foods and too many times a day, you're hitting this. And guess what? It fires up. It's at the base of your brain. It fires up, it lights up. And guess what happens? The frontal cortex slows down. The energy goes from it leaves here and it goes here. What is that? That's the child. This is the parent, the one that can have good thinking control, thinking ahead, being logical. That's the kid. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. I want it now. It doesn't think ahead, right? So what happens is if we keep dysregulating our foods, eating too many times, dysregulating insulin, this gets fired up. And then what happens? It shifts your brain chemistry. Why do I crave? Yeah, because you lit this up too many times because insulin, it's a heavy hitter, I'm telling you. And so much of this, I'm letting you know right now, it's your brain chemistry, right? And you're firing from here, right? So that's the first piece. That's the connection to why you can't stay consistent because you're firing the wrong part of the brain for too long, okay? And then cortisol. Oh, okay. What happens if we are stressed for too long? A little bit of stress is okay. It's actually healthy for you. We want the stress, like, woo, let's get up and go right now. Like we're in, like Reese and I are firing up to have this call, and it's like cortisol is being raised a little bit. But what happens is it comes back down after because you're in recovery after, right? It's supposed to come back down, but not be elevated all day. If it's elevated all day, you have you're acting without thinking, and then you're rewiring the brain again. What happens? Again, you're activating out of the amygdala. So now you've got the cortisol also acting from the amygdala. It fires it up. I'm telling you, we're going to go through that. And this starts to shut down. Now you're not really thinking ahead. You're just like fight or flight. I'm in survival mode. What happens then? You overreact and you store your fat. We're going to get into it a little bit more. And here's the other piece is estrogen. Listen, when you're in perimenopause, it's moving up and down and up and down. It's not the way it was before, right? And even in menopause and postmenopause, it's tanked, right? And so, like I said, it shifts your mood and sleep. And just so you know, again, it does affect the brain chemistry. Your receptor sites in the brain are very active for estrogen. If it's low, you're firing out of the amygdala. So now you think it's you? No, it's your brain chemistry. Really, it is, and it's hormonal. All right. So, how do we know if it's mostly insulin that's kind of driving my behavior? Well, if you have cravings that are like out of control, I have sugar cravings. I have that sugar. I need sugar right away. I'm hangry, right? I'm hangry. I need sugar, or I need other types of what else would they be craving?
Type thing. Something that's going to spike your sugar
Yeah.
rapidly.
Yeah. And so here's another, yeah, exactly. Um, and you have energy dips and spikes. So here it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon and your energy crashes. It should not crash. That is not normal. Not normal at all. It's because your insulin is up and down and up and down. My energy does not dip at 3. I don't even look at the 3 o'clock dip. No. When your hormones are balanced, you're just going to sail through the day with a calm sense of readiness. That's what you're looking for. Not wired and tired, not up and down. If you feel calm, but you're ready for anything, that's the sweet spot. Just please listen to that. All right. And the other thing is if your insulin is driving your behavior, you're just irritable and you're like, I bit at somebody and I feel so bad after. And now you have this, I don't know what you'd call that, but yeah. So you're biting, but you're like, oh, I wish I didn't say that. Now you need to apologize, and now it's sitting with you, and you feel guilty, and like
Stressed.
that's not a way to live, right? So we want to just have again stable mood. And then you don't want to be impulsive also, right? The impulsive decisions around food. So say if there is all these like foods that are around that you know you shouldn't be eating, but why are you eating them? Like I wouldn't eat them because I know that I don't even crave them, right? My blood sugar is balanced. But if you are eating them, even though you know you shouldn't, you're being impulsive. You're not thinking ahead. What are you? Remember the amygdala? Believe me, it's a real thing. That's the child. Give it to me, give it to me. Don't think ahead. The prefrontal cortex, you want to fire this sucker up. Yeah. Oh, but if I eat that, I'm going to wear it. Oh, but if I eat that, I'm going to feel good, but I'm going to crash. Oh, I'm going to feel guilty after. That's the prefrontal cortex. It's like, okay, no, that's where habits change. Right. I used to do that, but I'm not going to do that now because I'm moving into a new version of myself. This needs to fire. Okay. So insulin really needs to be balanced. Everything you do needs to balance the insulin. Okay. That's super key. Does this make sense? You guys getting, you ladies getting this? Yeah, it's a real thing. Right. Okay, perfect. I'm glad. All right. Now, how do you know if your cortisol is driving your behavior? Well, if you feel overwhelmed over the littlest things, listen, your cortisol is overdrive, right? You should be able to handle things like, oh, interesting. Angela's got a question. Yeah, just put it into the chat, Angela. That's great. I love it. Bring all the questions, bring them on. We always like that. So if you feel overwhelmed, you can't really handle very many things. Listen, your cortisol is like way through the roof, and that's why you have probably a belly. That's why you can't think properly, a brain fog. Maybe you can't sleep very well, right? Cortisol is off the charts, and who wants to live that way? Honestly, it's that. Quick reactions, stress eating. So if you're someone who's stress eating, oh, I'm stressed, I'm just going to grab something. That's a cortisol thing. And difficulty relaxing. Honestly, like you should be able to be in a room and be able to just like chill, right? Not feel anxious, have anxiety, irritability. No, just like, yeah, this is chill, like switch gears, right? And of course, the sleep. Now, all this is because, again, you're firing out of your amygdala. And it's a real thing. Not only that, if you have a cortisol type of behavior, you have fear-based thinking. They did studies on that. Those that have cortisol, right? So you're always afraid. You may even have kidney problems because kidneys are responsible for fear, right? Liver is anger. Kidneys are fear. Okay. And then lungs are grief. So if you have anything to do with respiratory, you're grieving. We went through that. So anyways, fear-based thinking. Here's the other piece. How would you like to live the rest of your life in fear? How would you like to keep living your life not being able to relax or feel overwhelmed? Like that's where it's going to go if you don't fix it. I'm telling you right now, right? And the other piece is this. If you want to create a new life, we can't be in fear. You can't create from that. That's low frequency. That's how do you even think from that? You can't be creative from that. So if you get anything from today, let's get the cortisol balanced. Let's rise it up in the morning, get up and go. Let's get our stuff done, but let's let it gently come down while melatonin goes up. Okay, that's how it's supposed to go. Then when it does, guess what? You're preventing cancer because you got melatonin up, right? You're not stressing, you're not looking old because you get very old if your cortisol is up all day. You know that. You'll look very old. And guess what? You will be more, I don't know if you're into intuition, but I certainly as a woman over 50, you're going to want to, we're supposed to tap in. That's our job. It's wisdom time. It's not old age home time. It's not, I need to, my kids to take care of me time. No, look at all the years that we had raising kids, doing all these things. We have so many years under our belt. We have a lot of education. So what are we going to do? Let it go to waste? No way. We need to pass on the wisdom. How do you do that? You tap in. You tap in, whatever source it is, universe, intuition, your gut feeling, I don't care. But listen, that's a missing piece. And if you're in fear, you're missing a big piece of actually what can move the dial. All right. I have to say that's where I'm moving into right now. But that's where we're supposed to move into. All right. Does that make sense, everyone? Ladies, is this too woo-woo for you? But really, come on. Does this make sense? Yeah. Okay, good, 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 good. Let's go. Okay, we talked about insulin, we talked about cortisol. Let's get into estrogen. Now, how do you know if your estrogen's out of whack, right? Well, your mood is up and down because it's directly tied to move, okay? And you don't have that emotional resilience. So somebody, I don't know, said something to you that really bothered you and you're not able to process it very well. And then later you get sick because your immune system comes down, right? You're weepy. Why are you sad? Why are you depressed? Well, it's so estrogen-like. And your sleep is disrupted. Why? Because your estrogen progesterone are off, right? It may be low estrogen because off with the progesterone. So that they need to be in balance. And then you have this reduced motivation. Why aren't I motivated? Well, because the hormones aren't in your favor. And just know it's a direct sign. It's not like it's right. And so again, amygdala. And if your estrogen is driving the behavior, we know that you're anxious and depressed. That's a sign that your estrogen is off. Okay. So these are hopefully helping out. Now let's get into the brain. Why aren't we talking about the brain more? Like, do you ever hear about that? You hear this stuff about being consistent, la la. How come no one's talking about the brain and how it's rewired? Like, that is everything. You're only going to do what your brain says, right? So if your hormones are off, you remember the amygdala. And that is, you'll see here in the brain, the amygdala would be a part of the brain here that is overactive and the prefrontal cortex isn't. So what happens? What happens is the nervous system is is scanning for threats. So here you are looking for threats. And you default to old habits. If your brain is rewired in a way to the amygdala is firing, you just go back to old habits, right? You prioritize energy conservation. So you hold on to things, you have repeated protective behaviors, and it limits how are you going to transform if this is happening? You want to transform, but you can't with the brain the way it is, all right? So we need to regulate the nervous system, regulate the brain. But you may go, why is it even crashing when I'm over 40? Well, the hormones are different. Also, your recovery is different. So what we were finding is a lot of individuals are having a hard time sleeping now. I think there's 13% of the world's population. I think you checked it out.
Mhm.
You want to share it?
Well, 13%, 12.9% of the world's population are struggling with sleep. So that leads to all kinds of different things.
Yeah, how are we going to recover and fix? And here's the thing, sleep is the only time the brain detoxifies to get everything firing properly, right? Sleep, that's the only time. You're not doing it during the day. The brain, through the lymphatic system, it's got its own lymphatic system called the lymphatic system in the brain. It releases all the toxins out of the brain so they can make room for new memories, right? For you to have good brain cognition, for you to have good memory. And it consolidates short-term memory and long-term memory only when you're sleeping properly. All right. And so as you get older and the hormones are shifting, you have a hard time sleeping. So how are we supposed to have better recovery? Sleep is critical. All right. Not only that, when you're a woman over 40, listen, you're juggling all these things like kids, maybe the work, you want to get the gym in, you have meetings, you want to fit in this new diet that you're trying to do, you have all the bills, like, hello, all these things. And that can be overwhelming, okay? And then the nervous system takes a hit. So I have to let you know, it's not discipline, not motivation, it's not willpower, it is the amygdala. I'll tell you right now, it's the brain chemistry. It's the nervous system that's shifting things along with your hormones. Okay. So, um, so then what happens is that this may sound like you. If you don't change, just say if you don't find the answer to balancing the hormones and getting the brain wired properly by doing the right things to stay consistent, then what happens is the body goes in protection mode. Oh, okay. I'm in survival mode. I'm not in thrive. No, no, my cortisol's off, my insulin's off, my estrogen. No, no, no. I'm in fear. Right. So then you do either all or nothing because that's easier. You shut down, right? Oh, I'm a perfectionist. I'm not going to start until it's perfect, right? You avoid things because you're too afraid to move ahead. And you have this freeze response and just this overwhelm. Hello, you're on the overwhelm wheel. What do you call it?
The hamster wheel.
The hamster wheel. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that's where it goes, right? So you have to future pace. Is that where I want to be? No. No, 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 no. This is your time. It's wisdom time. It's time for you. Okay. And not only that, on top of everything, of all these things you're juggling, now the diet culture is, oh, you know what? Just work out harder. Like when you're at the gym, just push it really hard. Go for that cardio run, or just eat less, exercise more, right? And then all these things signal more danger to you, more fear, right? Because under more stress, right? Blood sugar destabilizes. And then how are you supposed to stay consistent? It's like, hello, it's a no-brainer, right? So I want you to see that. So let's get into some solutions, okay? We need to, first of all, regulate our nervous system. Okay, so that means putting yourself into a calm sense of readiness. Okay, so eat to do that, move to do that, live to do that. All right, everything is dialed in for a healthy nervous system. All right, then you want to think about having, then when you feel safe. When you're safe, guess what? You can create from that. You can try new things from that. You can actually change. If you can make these habits, you can unmake them and make new habits. Okay? Because you've regulated the nervous system. And then it's like an alignment. So you're in alignment. Now you can be consistent because you've regulated the nervous system. Again, we went through diet tips, right? We went through movement tips already in the previous webinars, right? We went through lifestyle tips, the sleep piece. Get all that to balance that nervous system, get the brain wiring from the prefrontal cortex instead of the amygdala, all right? And once you do, when you match your goals, believe me, you will be consistent, okay? So remember to think about this nervous system piece, okay? Well, you may go, yeah, but Michelle, like, I know, but you don't know my life. Like, my life is so busy. I have all these kids and all these and all that. You can. Like, that's just an excuse. Like, really, if you really want it, you go after it, right? And you find ways. It's like you go out, okay, this is what I want. How am I going to get there? You ask the right questions, okay? The excuses are never going to get you there. And if you see yourself coming up with them going, nope, no, that's not going to get me there. What is? What I want. How am I going to do that? You find someone to help you. And when you do in a group, of course you're going to have consistency. All right. That's really important. And again, just here's a tip that are watching right now. And you go, you know what, man, I actually do. I am in overwhelm, Michelle, and I can tell right now my cortisol is quite high. And I actually kind of had these panic, I have anxiety, like my mood is off. Here's the number one thing that will turn it around for you right now. Okay. And remember to keep this under your belt for times that you are consistent, but maybe you're thrown off with a life's event. The number one thing, and this is what I did actually many times because I learned it from a master. And ever since I heard it, I'm like, I'm keeping that under my belt. And I've shared this with other clients as well. What you're going to want to do is if you find yourself in overwhelm and you're panicking, what you do, stop, pause, and then get into your deep belly breaths. The belly breaths, believe me, that will calm the sympathetic right to the parasympathetic. So just write that down, keep it as a tool, go right to your breath. I'm going to explain to you even how to do it. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to go, okay, I'm in overwhelm, I'm panicking. You know, that's going to throw you off, right? So you want to just recognize it first. And then if you can practice box breathing from the belly, this is actually going to help you sleep at night too. Okay. Because you want to be in parasympathetic. And what you do is you slowly breathe in on the count of 4. You hold your breath for 4. You breathe out for 4 and you hold your exhalation for 4. Box. That will bring you back down faster than anything. And you're doing it yourself. Your body's going to be forced into that. Okay. So just and if you practice that, you'll notice you'll be calm right away. So if you have trouble sleeping, that's something you can do. And what you may want to think about is breathing. The advanced version of this is holding the right nostril and breathing it all from the left, because this will put you into a better state of calm when you're doing that. It gets you into creativity instead of logic. Because if you have this mind chatter going on, oh, I can't get to sleep because of all these things on my head, and I teach my clients about brain dumping, putting it on paper before bed, but also you can do the breathing. Okay. And so when you hold the right nostril and you just breathe the box breathing through the left, you're activating the right side of the brain, the creativity, and shutting down the logic. Yeah. These are tools that work right away. So let's get into some more tools. Here's the thing. To really keep you consistent, get the results, you need a system, right? You need to balance your systems, but you also need a system. You're only as good as your system. It's not you, it's the system. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our framework that we use with our clients. We've been doing this for 25 years, and we've basically perfected the system. And this system that we created helps women over 40 drop 20 or more pounds in 90 days or less without giving up their favorite food or wine, so that they can be fit and healthy forever. All right. But we're going to dial this in for you during the 5-day Meno challenge. We're going to go like fire, aren't we?
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. We're going to build structure and momentum.
An hour a day.
Yeah. However, if you want to do this on your own, whatever, I'm just going to give you some tips right now. Step 1, to get your results, you need to reset the body. Before you reset the body, you need to test. Like, we can't Google our weight. We can't say our friend did this, it worked for her. No, it doesn't work. All right. You're a different person, right? You have a different lifestyle. You digest foods differently than they do. What they digest a potato differently than you do. It may spike their blood sugar and not yours. All right. That's why it's important to work with somebody, if you really want to get results, who can make sure that when you're eating things, you're on track. And if not, they can adjust it. Okay. But you want to, on your reset, recharge your build. On the reset piece, to work smarter than harder, you want to test, don't guess. Don't do what your neighbor's doing. Find out what's good for you. It's called biochemical individuality. That means that your body chemistry is different than the neighbor. So you're going to require different things. So for our clients, we start with the metabolic self-test. Yeah, what's in the way of you having a good mood, getting into the best weight, and having that good sleep? What's in the way? There's something in the way. One of your systems is off, maybe 2. Well, we test for that. Oh, it's that. Oh, well, how do we solve it? Well, we already know the problem, so we can solve it this way because we know how to do it. How do you solve it? With the right diet, the right movement, the right lifestyle. Okay, that's how you do it, and it'll stay for life because it's for you. So that's what we do. So make sure you test, don't guess. And if you have blood work, it's going to tell you stuff, right? The blood doesn't lie. So test yourself first before even getting started, so that you're not like frustrated. Okay. And so just saying, next week we do our Meno reset challenge. Day 1, guess what? You're testing. You're going to find out exactly what's in the way. Wouldn't that be amazing? Big clarity piece. And you've got us along the way for the whole 5 days to go, yeah, okay, we'll tweak that, tweak this. You'll have question and answer for the whole 5 days. So you've got us as coaches. It's really cool. So anyways, you're going to start with testing, but again, you can test yourself. Find someone to test you with your metabolism and also your blood work. That's where you start, so you don't spin your wheels. Now we get into the here. Oh, and here's another tip, okay? So say you do some testing and you're testing because you're doing this so that you can ground your nervous system, stabilize your blood sugar, keep your cortisol healthy, and create safety. Okay, so let's just say that you've got a few things going on. Oh, I have parasites, I have candida, I have low stomach acid, I have thyroid, I have all these things. Always start with your digestion. Out of anything, you're only as good as what you can break down, absorb, and assimilate and remove. Instead of shiny object stuff, if you got digestive stuff going on, start there. Okay, because that's going to help everything, right? And even get your brain working properly. Because guess what? If your gut is off, you're inflaming, your brain's inflaming too. And guess what? You're going to activate that amygdala. And oh my God, I'm that child again. Why can't I stay consistent? Yeah, because your brain's on fire, because your gut's on fire. So out of anything that you hear today, start fixing your digestion. And with my clients, always start there. Always start with clean, heal, and seal the gut, put in the right foods, eliminate the wrong foods, and then start to bring in the other foods over time because the gut's healthy, right? So I thought I'd just share that with you right now. Now, so we're talking about resetting by testing, right? And now we're looking at recharging. Okay, recharging. First of all, what's it going to do? You're going to recharge the body to reduce the overwhelm, to remove extremes, right? You don't have to do everything, right? You get to choose, okay? Right? Simplify. Keep it simple. We're doing too many things. Have a look at what you're doing, going, do I really need to do that? That's taking it away from what I really should be doing. Okay, so what does that even mean? A plan. Yes, you can test, but now you need a plan. What is a plan? A daily routine. Yes, a daily routine. This is what we're going to give you on day 2 in the Meno Reset Challenge, by the way. And so what you're going to do is it's like a nice little structure. You have a structure and it will build momentum because you have a plan. You're plugging and playing the morning, like the fasting period. I hope you're fasting in the morning. If you're putting calories in straight away, maybe because you've eaten early, like you finished your dinner really early and you're eating first thing in the morning. But really you need to be doing some kind of intermittent fasting. And so the morning is the time to remove the toxic chemicals through your water, your vitamin C. You want to share what that is?
Coffee, that's our coffee.
And then movement. So that's good. That's a fasting period. That's going to accelerate the fat burning. That's going to burn that belly fat. Okay. No, you need to fast in the morning and then you feed the body properly. And so that's what we teach our clients all the time is you fast, you feed well and you fast well, right? So, but again, everything's in your daily schedule, in your daily routine.
Keeps it simple.
Yeah, we keep it really, really simple. And so again, you've tested, you know what the problem is. You get the eating plan right. And then what you do is you put it into your schedule. You schedule it in, right? You've got a daily schedule and then you kind of have like a weekly thing going on. But really, you do need a daily routine because then you're in rhythm. Women are meant to be in circadian, we're supposed to work with our hormones. We have circadian rhythm. Women that have stomach issues are off their circadian rhythm. Their circadian rhythm is off, right? If you have a stomach issue, you have a hard time with the outside world. You need to fix the stomach. That's your digestion. Okay. We need to put your body back into rhythm. If you're stressed out of your face, we need to put you back into rhythm, right? We're meant to be that way. And that's what the daily routine does. It actually works with your body, the hormones, everything goes back into balance. Okay. And then you just plug and play. You just follow your daily routine. As simple as that. Okay. You want to say anything there?
No, good.
Okay. And then with this daily routine, what you're doing is you're matching these daily new habits with your hormone needs. You're matching the routine with your energy, right? In the evening, you're setting yourself up for a good sleep, right? If that's part of your evening routine, it has to be. Otherwise, you don't shoot in the okay, it's time to sleep after you put on all the bright lights and lay in bed. That's not going to work. No, there's a certain way you need to reverse alarm to get ready for a good sleep. Okay. And that's what the daily routine does. And then you're also going to make sure that you have blood sugar control. You're not going to eat every 2 hours. That's not your daily routine. No, we eat in a way to balance our blood sugar. Okay, very important. And all of this, can you see how this can work with consistency? Can you really see that? You test, you know what's going on. You have a daily routine. Of course, you're going to be consistent.
Sorry.
That's okay. Does that mean you want to say?
No, not just.
Okay. And so then the last part of this recharge piece is you got to eat properly. We need to eat in a way to balance our hormones. Yes, there's foods that will support estrogen. I talked about that before, the brassica family of foods and other things, right? There are foods that can help to balance cortisol and insulin. Food is medicine if you understand the information that it gives you when you eat. When you eat in a balanced way for your body, of course you're going to get results. And so what we do with our Meno Reset challenges on day 3, you're going to get our recipe book. Oh yeah, we're going to go to town. It's going to be super, super fun. Again, you've got us alongside for the whole 5 days too, to ask questions, right? And then what we'll do in day 4 is we're going to talk all about exercise, the right kind of exercise. So we're going to actually give you a Fit and Healthy Forever weekly workout plan. You're going to know exactly how to train for the week. Because here's the thing. Yes, we need resistance training. That is a non-negotiable. If you're a woman over 40, it's a non-negotiable 2 to 3 times a week resistance training. Okay. And you think that you need to go for a long time. Like, oh, I don't have the time. Guess what? I was just looking at research. You can train too much and it will set you back. It's actually going to make it worse. Yeah. And so all you really need is the sweet spot, 20 minutes 3 times a week. 20 minutes of resistance training 3 times. That's not a lot. That's all you need. That's the sweet spot, right? And then you're going to want to think about HIIT training. Of course you are. Like if you're just starting out, it's more like walking quick, walking slow for a bit, walking quick, going back and forth 6 times. But if you're more advanced, we can look at that. But that's actually going to help with other parts of your system to get them healthy. So we have the resistance training, the HIIT training, and then your mobility work. Oh, super key when you're a woman over 40. Are you kidding me? We can't just train. We need to work on the joints, open up the spaces, right? Because here's the thing, and you're in the gym, this is the other piece. You're in the gym, you're building muscle, right? Building muscle, getting toned, all those things. Well, guess what? If you go too hard, your ligaments and tendons may not catch up because you're going too hard. And guess what? You have injury and now you're set back because they have to also build, right? So that's what we help you guide through, right? So you want to be just consistent, progressive, and not like overdoing it. Just be consistent, okay? And then those nice little walks that you can do once a week, like a nice hike or play a sport. I play basketball. We do walks together.
Yeah.
Nice little walks, maybe a hike, right? That's a well-balanced workout, okay? And that, when you love what you do, you see results, and you're not tanked, of course you're gonna, can you see how that can be consistent? You see that? It's because it's a strategy. So we're going to give you that workout plan on day 4, which will be really exciting. And then the other piece is on day 5. Here's the thing. We're going to put it all together because at the very last day, you want to make sure that everything is in alignment and then you're tracking the right thing. So what we're going to do is, you know that when you have repeatable habits over time, you're going to get results and it'll be sustainable. Okay. And so what we do for our clients is, you want to share that?
Yeah, we use an acronym called SWIRPS. So it's 7 letters. It starts off with sunshine, daily water. It's kind of like as if you're a plant almost. Sunshine, water, exercise. You've got your rest in between, right? Your nighttime. Your protein, so your fertilizer. Self-development is taking care of yourself, right? Pruning, whatever you need to do. And then supplements would be your additional fertilizer on top if you need additional fertilizer. And not everybody does. And so just following those gives you a framework, a daily framework that if you follow those, we could talk about each of those 7 attributes for an hour each, easily, about how they affect the different parts of the body positively. But if you just follow through on those things, everything will fall into place.
Yeah,
But each one of them are important.
yeah, here's the thing. Who wants missing pieces? I don't. No, I'm a Scorpio. We have to fill all the gaps and we need to be deep thinkers, right? Root cause. Each of these 7 things, when you do them, it's a non-negotiable. Like these are just daily habits that will have a significant impact on your hormones and your brain chemistry so that you can get results and be consistent. Okay, so that's what we're going to offer you also. That's day 5. You get this tracking sheet because you get to learn all about it. Now you have a tracking sheet for you to use for the rest of your life. These are the non-negotiables. I don't know why no one's talking about sunlight. Like, it doesn't make sense. We're so afraid of the sun. Are you kidding me? That's its own, but that's medicine. Sunlight is medicine. It's designed to help us be healthy. It cleans your blood, helps you build, improves your mood. Like, it helps you sleep through the night. It's like crazy. What you don't want to do is slather your body with sunscreen. You want to protect yourself, sure, with certain things. But anyways, things, I'm just looking out there and I'm like, I think we've just gone crazy with all that marketing stuff because it's not helping. We're the sickest we've ever been. So what we're doing is we're shifting gears and we're going, this actually does work, right? And our clients can tell you that. And the clients that are on the call, they can even say in the chat, their experience with us. And so here's what happens when everything aligns. Guess what? Your cravings decrease. You actually crave healthy food. Okay. So that means when all these donuts and everything are on the table, it doesn't even trigger you at all. You're like, I don't even want that. Energy stabilizes, no more 3 p.m. crash. You sleep, you're up all day, and guess what? You sleep through the night. That's how it should be. Your mood improves. That means if somebody says something that maybe wasn't very nice, it's not going to hit you for days and you're processing it. It's like, wait a minute. Oh, I'm glad I'm not them. They must have some challenges. It's not me. And it doesn't land like it did before. So you're not sitting with it. You're not wearing the world on your shoulders and worrying about everybody else at all. No, you're autonomous. You're stable, right? You're secure. Your sleep improves, your behavior becomes predictable. You get to trust yourself. Why? You trust yourself by keeping your word to yourself and being consistent. That's how you trust yourself. Okay. And then consistency is just like, that's who I am. You basically reinvented yourself to the person you know you want to be. Okay. And just as a case example, I just want to share with you, oh my gosh, Megan, isn't she great? You feel free to hop on here on this one. But Megan came to us about 4 months ago, 47, came to us with a condition that, did we reverse that or pretty close? No, she had a condition that she doesn't have anymore. So I have to see what that was. But anyway, she was a busy mom, a wife, and a business owner. All right. And when she came to us, she was struggling with joint pain, like severe joint, really puffy, lots of inflammation. You remember that, right? She's like, I just want to lose weight and she just wanted to feel better, right? She just felt like puffy and fatigued. And she wanted to reduce her inflammation because she knew that was linked to the puffiness. It was struggling for 10 years. In fact, I think it was more than that. And then she felt her problem was because she was getting older, okay, because of the inflammation, because she was in perimenopause, and lack of knowing what to eat for her body. Well, when we tested her cortisol was dysregulated, wasn't having stable meals, and her behavior was very inconsistent. Then what happened was when we shared with her exactly the simple way to be able to get her results by sharing with you, balancing her hormones, she dropped 8 pounds, no problem at all. But not only that, her inflammation went down like right away. She looked way younger, wasn't puffy, very, very lean. Like she's like, yeah, I haven't napped in months. Like she was so fatigued when she came to us. She was like so tired. She's like, no, I'm good. Like oh man, energy. She's doing 20,000 steps now. Yeah, she's Energizer Bunny. Yeah, because she's giving the body what it needs. 25,000?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And she's traveling and everything. So anyway, now she has predictable results and stable patterns. So, I mean, if she can, she's on our success channel. So if she can do it, of course you can do it. Why does this matter? Because here's the thing. If you keep spinning your wheels, where's that going to go? We already talked about that. How are you going to get results if you're not consistent? You're not consistent because you have a dysregulated system. And a lot of it has to do with brain chemistry, okay? And those hormones we talked about. And then what happens is if if you don't make a change, your body's, yeah, it's going to hang on to everything, right? And that includes your fat and actually gain more. And so the difference is you want to make sure you reset the body with testing, recharge the body with what we talked about, and then rebuilding the body with a nice daily routine where you can just, eat foods that are going to balance your blood sugar and everything. And this will make change possible and sustainable. So again, we want to invite you to, we can wrap this all up in just 5 days, build the momentum, create the structure. You guys will get all these handouts. It's a 5-day Meno Reset Challenge. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with doing the self-test. Yeah. Find out what's going on, right? Get clear to know what to do. You'll have simple solutions. Number 2, when you follow the daily routine sheet that we're going to give you and you start to do it, you'll actually look at yourself with a greater level of mind and go, wow, I had no idea that that was triggering me before, because now I'm mindful, I'm looking for it now. Oh, I was moody that day. Oh, I didn't sleep that well. Okay, we're going to find out what's triggering that to stop it, to move ahead. Okay. You're also going to get my Fit and Healthy Forever eating plan, and that's all hormone friendly. So it's going to make sure that you're balancing blood sugar, balancing cortisol, getting estrogen back up to where it needs to be. All right. And then we're going to get into the weekly workouts with a simple movement strategy. So you get a week, not just a day, no, the weekly workout plan. Okay. And then after that, the very last piece is that you're going to build your own Fit and Healthy Forever blueprint. That way, in 2026, you know what you're doing, you're with other people doing it, and then you're off to the races. Yeah, let's go. All right. So let's see if there's any questions. We can open up the lines for questions here. Yeah, so we've got, yeah, good, Tristan, putting in the link. Very, very good. Join now. Remember, it's just Monday. And again, if you can't even make the times, it'll all be recorded. You get a copy of it.
Yep.
Like it's going to be, and all the handouts, everything. Okay, so let's see.
Angela said thumbs up.
Okay, so Angela, thumbs up. Okay, that's a good thing. It is what I need. Reset the system.
That's
I know. We got to test, don't guess for sure. Customization, personalization is the new way, right? No more cookie cutter stuff. Can I see? Yeah, it's $27. Yeah, it's just a small little tiny investment. Yeah, it's $27, Angela. Very little. Can we still go to the gym during the different steps? Can we still go? Can we still go during the different steps? I go to the gym at 5 a.m. and I can't train without food. Yeah, I mean, once I learn more about what's going on in your body, then I'll be able to answer that properly. But here's the thing, just generally, do I eat before I train or do I not eat before I train? That's always a good question, right? So how I structure my clients, depending on their lifestyle too, some are teachers, some are pilots, some are traveler, so basically what happens is the very end of the day, the last meal is going to be your next morning pre-workout meal. Here's what I mean by that. It's like something I learned about maybe 10 years ago from a triathlon who's like really ripped. And it made sense to me when you understand the body, it's not marketing. Okay, so the very last meal of the day, you're going to add in your starch. If you have SIBO, maybe not. So if you don't have SIBO and you have pretty good digestive system, starch. What is starchy? What is starchy? What is starch? You're going to add in the starch to your meal. Below the ground vegetables, yams, sweet potatoes, carrots, beets, winter squash, turnips. Add a half a cup of the starchy vegetables as part of your evening meal, not during the day. No, you're going to load up. Okay. And if you love grains, that's the time to have sourdough bread. Hello, sprouted bread. Let's go, Ezekiel. Lentils, beans, those are starchy vegetables. You want to put them in, okay? If you put them in during the day, you may be tired. So you want to put them in the evening to help you have a good sleep at night. And it's going to help you allow for good blood sugar control to sleep through the night and give you the energy that you will need to actually do a workout without eating. If you like to do that, if you like to work out on an empty stomach, that's how we do it, because you would have already have your liver and your muscles are hanging on to the starch with glycogen. It stores the starch as glycogen in the liver and the muscles. And then what happens is in the morning, it's going to slowly release it. The garbage can's going to open up, and then you'll have all this beautiful blood sugar control, and you're fasted. You're not digesting. Now you can try, as long as you have energy to go to the gym. As you don't want to be hungry going to the gym. That's a different story. If you're, because ideally, it's the, do you like to work out faster or not? That's how you do it. Okay. But if you're hungry, then you do need to have some kind of food before you go, because otherwise you won't be able to lift heavy. Why are you going to the gym? First of all, you're going to the gym to practice good mechanics, good movement, because if not, you're going to injure yourself. Okay, like some of our clients, whatever, I've done it too, but because we're not mindful of our movement. And you're not mindful of your movement because you're probably hungry, because you can't wait to be done to go and eat, right? No, we don't want that. Stable blood sugar, go in, practice the movement. That's why the first set should, the first, set should be maybe really low weight. I do deadlifts without any weight, just the bar, just to practice that, get my brain tapped into the muscle group. And actually what I do too, here's a bit of a nuance for those watching. I know some of you are advanced trainers. Put your mind to the muscle group that you're training. Don't go anywhere else. Don't let the mind wander. Just focus on the muscle group that you're training. It will actually get stronger just by doing that. And if you're working your butt, your glutes, listen, I had to build mine out because it was not so good, but now it's starting to build out. You, first of all, what do you call that, Reese, when I do that?
I'm not sure.
You activate it. So what you're doing is, it's okay. You may look weird, who cares? You're going to activate your glutes. You wake them up, man. Just wake them up. Activate the glutes. Tell your body you're going to work on them. Then do the glute exercise. Yeah, it works, that stuff. Okay, so then you go, okay, well, Michelle, there are times I'm hungry before I eat, but what do I eat so that I still get results? That's where my perfect protein bar comes in. It is freaking amazing. So I have to say, I just discovered that I'm an alchemist in the kitchen. I love to create things in the kitchen where food is medicine. And one of them was, I didn't like the bars that were in the stores. They were full of, like, first of all, they didn't even taste good. And second of all, I could just taste the seed oils, the rancid fats. It wasn't quite the flavor I was looking for. Plus, I didn't have enough protein. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make my own. I created this amazing recipe. It's called the Perfect Protein Bar. And those that are on the Meno Reset will obviously get a copy of that because it's actually in my recipe book. Because I didn't want to keep that to myself. I want to share it with others too, right? And so what we do is we make big batches of it and we put it in the freezer or the fridge. And then what I'll do is I'll take a chunk of it and I'll put it in a container and I'll take it to the gym with me. And when I get hungry before a workout, say if I would just sit and chew that, maybe take me 5-10 minutes. It's really delicious. It's easy to digest. That's the first thing. You don't want to be sitting there with a chicken leg and trying to eat before you train. You'll get a stomach ache. It's too hard to digest. The body's got to, it's going to put the energy into breaking up the food, not giving you those sexy muscles, right? So you want to have something easy to digest and certainly not a banana. Oh my gosh. How many times have I seen that? I just had a banana before I trained. Oh, really? You just disrupted what you could have done if you didn't have the banana, okay? Because you're spiking blood sugar. No, don't do that at all. No. Protein, easy to digest fats, coconut oil. It's like pre-digested. MCT oil, pre-digested. Protein powder, pre-digested. It's all pre-digested. And then what I did in my perfect protein bars, I added a little bit of caffeine from coffee grounds. Oh yeah, beautiful. Almond butter, a bit of salt, a bit of maca. Yeah, libido. But the whole flavor is so good with it's mostly protein, a little bit of fat, and it stabilizes the blood sugar to give me the energy to be able to build the muscle. Okay. And so that's what you want to do before you work out is a little bit of protein, a little bit of healthy fat, but something you can pre-digest. And I made the perfect protein bars for that. So that's what we're going to want to do. Okay. Yeah. And then when you're hungry after a workout, Don't eat because it's time to eat. No, you listen to your body. It's still digesting the last meal. It's not ready for a meal. Wait till it's ready. Oh, okay, I'm getting hungry. Cool. I'm going to listen to my body because I love it and I'm going to feed it.
That's the best.
Um,
Yeah.
so let's keep going. So I've heard fasted exercise isn't good for menopausal women. Okay. That's good that you said that. Protein upon 30 minutes of waking. How do we
right?
know it's right? How much different information? Okay, well let's think about it. Like let's look logically to the body. Okay. So what I'm just trying to think just logically, the body goes, I'm not hungry, but you're feeding it anyway. Do you think that's reading your body properly? Just so you know, that means that your body isn't ready for food. It's still digesting the last meal. So it's still digesting the last meal, but you're saying, no, I'm supposed to eat because that's what Google said. Okay, but now you're still trying to break down the last meal. It's got enough energy. Now you're packing on more food. What do you think is going to happen to the digestive tract? It hasn't even finished breaking down that food. Okay? No, you wait till it's finished. The body's not supposed to be eating all day. If it is, insulin's going up all day. What is that? Storage hormone. What does that mean? Over time, it's insulin resistance. That's the opposite we want to do. We want to be insulin sensitive. And you also need to give breaks from food because your body eats, it needs time to do other things than just breaking down food. What is it? Autophagy, cellular renewal, cellular cleanup. I just had a call with a client today. We need the body has kind of like two functions: digest the food or cellular cleanup, right? If it's always digesting, how are you supposed to clean up the cells? How? No, they could everything gets congested. So I'm not a fan of that at all. And you can follow that if you want. I'm okay. But I know that my strategy works. Because why? Because it's been 25 years and my clients tell me, look, I know, Carolee, you tell them, like, come on, like, we have to stop this marketing stuff. Go, Carolee, go. Yes, I'm probably going to open up the line. You can share that. Carolee, open up the line and share. Do it. Tristan, can you allow Carolee?
She's just finding the button.
Okay. I know it works. I know it works. I'm a living testament to it because I've been doing it now for 7 months. And I mean, yeah, I've lost almost 30 pounds for sure, but that's not all. That's not all. Like my whole body has changed. And the place where I was always my nemesis was on my midsection. And that's where I'm noticing the most change is in my midsection, in my hips. All that stored extra fuel that I wasn't using is now being used. And yeah, like, I know this plan works. I know it works. And it is worth the investment in your health. And that's the thing. I don't just feel like I'm on a program or doing a program. I know this is a lifestyle for me and it's one that I can maintain and be fit and healthy for the rest of my life for sure. So yeah, it's awesome. Fantastic.
Carolee, I didn't pay her. She just said that. I didn't know
Yeah.
she was gonna be on the call. Like it's just like
Yeah.
when you get the body what it needs. Carolee, you're so great to work with.
Well,
Yeah.
it's that whole thing about doing what's right for your body.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. That's why we shouldn't compare because every person needs something different to be successful. It's not the Hollywood approach where like that cookie cutter thing where here eat this or do this and I did them all. I did them all. And I did extreme things to my body that I should never have done.
Mhm.
But I know that this program just made all the difference for me. So this lifestyle. So I plan to continue doing it for the rest of my life because I can see the results. I feel good, I sleep good, I have energy. Yeah, it's fabulous. Just fabulous.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because we test, don't guess. And
That's
we give
right.
the body what it needs and we adjust when we need. So thank you, Carol. Yeah, you look, oh my God.
Yeah.
So beautiful, so beautiful.
Thanks, Curly.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
As a menopausal woman, Every menopausal woman is still unique. Yes, you're in menopause. That makes you similar, but you're still unique. So when was the last meal that you had? Was it at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? So it's different. And when are you waking up? And what's going on with your body? And is protein important first thing in the morning? Yes, but when is first thing in the morning? It's different for every woman, right? It's different for every person. And it depends on what you're going to be doing right after you're eating as well. So when Michelle's saying, don't go to the gym with a chicken leg in your mouth, she's right, right? Have something that's going to be easy to digest so that you can utilize it when you're at the gym, if that's what you're doing. Hello there. And how do we know it's right? Well, we've been doing it for 25 years, so we know it's right, but we understand from everybody that comes to us, they are so confused. They go to talk to Dr. Google and try to figure it out on their own, and they go to, I don't know, they go to different doctors, they go to different endocrinologists, naturopaths, all kinds of different people, trying to find out what is really true. And one of the challenges is that the medical system in general, treats people in silos. So what I mean by that is if you have a digestive issue, you go to a gastroenterologist. If you have a hormonal issue, you go to an endocrinologist, and so forth. They treat you as body parts generally, right? There are great physicians out there, and I wouldn't want a world without any doctors in it. That would be a bad place to be. But, you know, the medical system itself does treat us in those silos. And so you need to go to somebody that can take a look at you as a whole individual with exercise, nutrition, and the mindset to adjust it for you as an individual. So it's a great question about fasting and about how much confusion there is out there. So thank you for that.
Yeah. So I have this thing where it's feed well, fast well. We fast well and we feed well. We eat when we're hungry, stop when we're 80% full. Everything's very systematic and very, very simple. And it works with the body. And when you follow it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's why I'm getting results. Yeah, because you're working with the body instead of against it.
Yeah, we're familiar with Dr. Stacy Sims.
I had a banana before all my turn. Yeah, so then you're just like storing fat actually, because banana, first of all, is banana grown in your environment? The first thing you want to think about is if you're going to have any fruit, you want to think about, is it grown in my environment? Because ideally that's kind of the fruit you want to have. And in the winter, is there fruit available in the winter? Like you want to start thinking seasonally. The body's meant to have soups and stews and warming foods, not cold bananas, unless you're in Mexico. Then with the banana, that would be fine, but you're going to want to add in some protein powder, okay, and a little bit of fat like almond butter, not peanut butter. Peanut's moldy. But then if you did the banana with the protein powder, right, say chocolate protein powder, whatever, whey protein powder, isolate, and then some almond butter, and you have that, and then you train 30 minutes later, that's fine. Then your next meal will be, you know, protein, fat, and fiber, right? That's how you do it. So I'm okay with that, but just not banana on its own. Now you're disrupting insulin, cortisol, and estrogen, all of them. Okay. I was only asking because Dr. Stacy, I know her. She works with athletes. Not all my clients are athletes, right? And we can't treat them like athletes. She's well respected, believe me. She knows her stuff. But again, it's context matters.
Yeah.
Context. Who are you? And what are your goals? And what's your lifestyle like, right? It's that's where the coaching comes in. That's where the practicing comes in. That's where the misinformation comes in. She's great. Believe me, it'll work for some people for sure, but not for others. And you wonder, why isn't it working for me? Because you're different. But she's great. Sorry, I have to leave, but I watched the end, very interested. Sonia. Okay. Oh, Genevieve. Oh, look at her. Testament as well. So September
2023.
2023 on the left.
Today on the right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, wow. Let's go, Genevieve. Okay, see? Yeah. And so Genevieve is, you know, mid 40s, right? Look at you, look great. Yeah, really, really good. Okay. Hey Jen, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, when I started on the program, I had never followed a structured training program before. So I followed a lot of randomness and was under fueling. And a very busy mom. So like sleep was all over the place and that. So once I had like the structure in place, and it only took a few days for me starting to see the shifts. Like I think I remember saying to Michelle a week in, and I said, if this was the results I got after 3 months, I would have been completely satisfied. And I got these results in 1 week. Like,
Yeah.
not the photos, obviously. This is years of consistency and dedication, but it's just to show how any body can morph and transform. And it's more than aesthetic. The aesthetics actually just becomes the side effect
Yeah.
of the transformation that happens internally by resetting gut, by resetting hormones, by resetting mindset. It's just this domino effect of amazingness. So
Great.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jen.
and you're able to eat a lot more food now.
oh God, yeah.
If you love food,
Yeah.
you're gonna love this because you're able to eat food and actually gain more muscle instead of fat.
Yeah.
And more energy. Thanks, Jen. All right. So again, I didn't pay her. She just hopped on. This is just random, believe me. So that's good. Yeah. Thanks, Jen. So if there's any other questions here before we wrap up, like I said, I'm here to the end. If you like, again, ask Michelle, ask Reese, we're here. And if not, that's
We'll check
okay.
one more time.
Yeah. And also, again, you don't want to miss out on this Meno Reset Challenge. My goodness, we're going to have so much fun. Once a day for 5 days, we'll be hopping on our private channel, like a Zoom call like this. Reese and I will hop on for an hour. And then after we do the training, you'll get a handout, right? It's like you're a student because you're learning about how to get the body to burn fat, build muscle, look and feel 10 years younger for your body. And it'll be really, really fun. And then the next day we'll do the same for 5 days straight. 5 days is enough. That's all you need. And then you've got build the momentum and the structure. So yeah, so make sure you click the link and join.
Great. I think that's it, huh?
Yeah. Welcome everybody to our
Thank you so much.
And hope you have a good rest of the evening. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you on the Meno Reset Challenge. Okay.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.